We're on Sukkah Perak Aleph Mishnah Yud Aleph, 11th Mishnah in the first chapter of Sukkah. It's the last Mishnah in the first chapter of Sukkah. Says the Mishnah, how says Sukkato kamin srif, o shesamach ala kotel, Rabbi Eliezer posel mipnei she'en la gag, v'chachamim machshirin. So what does it mean kamin srif? You make it like a tent. If I can find a picture here. Okay, Sukkah kamin srif. Here we go. There we go. This is a Sukkah kamin srif. You make it like a tent. Okay, so you see that the sukkah, it's like a pup tent. So it doesn't really have a top. So do you consider this a wall or do you consider it a roof? So that's the nature of the machloket. Or samchu al gabe kotel, same idea. This is from Ne'ot Kedumim. Right, the sukkah is leaning against the wall. Now it's really interesting. Let's move me here and see what they do. Right, because the Gemara talks about if you have a little wall here, then the Gemara says it's okay. If you have a little wall here, it's an interesting question. If I put schach here also, it's an interesting question. Those are questions the Gemara deals with, which of course we're not going to deal with today. Right? The Rabbi Eliezer is posel because it doesn't have a gag. He says, "Eno gag nikar mahu gag mahu kotel." You can't tell. That's Rabbi Eliezer. You can't tell what's gag and what's kotel. The ohel mishupa lav shmei ohel, because he holds that a slanted ohel, a slanted roof, is not a slanted ohel. El imkein yesh lo gag tefach, unless it has a gag tefach. V'alacha ke Rabbi Eliezer. We pass him like Rabbi Eliezer. So if you have your schach is on a slant, that's fine, as long as you have normal walls. Then you can tell that that's the roof. Machatzelet kanim gedola. Now we're going to call on sukkah mats. So in their days, they made mats for the purposes of carpeting and floors and walls and anything like that. So the question, when you make a mat, then you turn it into a kli. You turn it into a vessel, something that's usable. Once it's usable, it's makabel tuma, and you can't use it for schach. But what happens though? But what if I wanted to make a mat for the purposes of my sukkah mat? So that's the nature. That's the question of our Mishnah. Machatzelet kanim gedola. I have a reed mat, a large reed mat. Asal l'shkiva mekabelet tuma ve'en mesachachin bo. If it's a large mat, if I made it for the purpose of lying, it's my bed, it's my sleeping mat. Then it's mekabelet tuma. It's a kli, and it's mekabel tuma. It has the status of a vessel. Ve'en mesachachin bo, and you cannot use it for schach. But l'sikuch. If you made it for schach, then specifically, then it's considered schach, and it's not mekabel tuma. It's not a kli like our sukkah mats that we have. If you buy a sukkah mat, if it's made specifically for the use of the sukkah, then it's not mekabel tuma. It's not a kli. Rabbi Eliezer says, achat kana v'achat gedola, whether it's large or small. If you made it for sleeping, for lying down, then it's mekabel tuma. But whether it's large or small, then you can make schach with it, then you can use it for schach, and it's not mekabel tuma. So it's interesting. The machloket is whether the Bar Tudera says they argue about a gedola, machatzelet gedola. Tanakama savar stam gedola l'sichuch abi. The Tanakama holds that a large one is normally used for schach, and a stam katan is for shchiva. A small schach, a small sukkah mat is for lying down. Whereas Rabbi Eliezer holds in the end, he says, no, it all depends on what you made it for. I don't know, stam big, stam small, whatever you made it for, that's what it's used for. And if you made it for schach, then it's perfectly good. And that's why our sukkah mats are no problem at all, because they're made for schach, and therefore they're not mekabel tuma. Really, really interesting question. What if it was made as a wall? Like you could buy here in Israel mats, reed mats that people use for their fences and things of that nature. Can you use it for schach? That's a question you'd have to ask your local Orthodox rabbi. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha Ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.